Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk about if I would join the Marine Corps again and what I would do differently if I say yes to that question, which hint I am going to say yes. So I joined the Marine Corps in 2013, about 4 months after I graduated high school. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was going to go to Arizona State University, but basically what ended up happening was I got like a $10,000 scholarship, um, but that wasn't enough to cover tuition. And I had the Pell Grant as well, which was about $5,000. I was maxed out, but it wasn't enough to cover like tuition for every year. So I didn't really understand the college process, and I didn't really want to go anyway. I wasn't inclined, so I started trying to find out what kind of jobs to do. So I sold fire extinguishers, I sold windshields, door to door. Yeah, fire extinguishers was business to business though. Still kind of door to door, I guess. Then I also sold like magazines or something like that. I don't know. I got a lot of jobs from Craigslist. It was an interesting time. I was 18 years old and I was trying to figure out what to do. I also worked at a gas station called Quick Trip, and then finally my last job before joining the Marine Corps was a car salesman. And I did that for about 3 months, and I sold one car, and it was a like 2009 Jeep Compass, I want to say. Would I have sold that again? No. I would never recommend anyone buys a 2009 Jeep Compass. So anyway, I was trying to figure out what to do, but I remember when I was in high school, the Marines would always come, like a Marine recruiter, to our high school, and he would challenge us to do pull-ups, and you would win like a free shirt if you could do 20. And I remember I was in pretty good shape. I did like wrestling, baseball, football, and since I was in wrestling at the time, do a lot of bodyweight exercises, and I did 20 reps nonstop. I did 5 sets of 20, so I won 5 shirts that day, and it was awesome. I was just like doing 20 and then give one to my friend, but I never thought that I would actually join the Marines. But fast forward to like 5 months or 4 months after graduating high school, I decided to join. I got a really high score on the ASVAB, which is a test that you need to take to qualify you for jobs for the military. I got a 98 on it, which would qualify me for any job. Basically, I also did like, there's all the other sub scores below that, like GT score, and the Air Force does a kind of different scoring. But even under their model, I also qualified for any enlisted job. But I ended up going with the Marines anyway, and I said I want to go as fast as possible out of here. I didn't like living at home with my parents. I didn't like where my career was going, which I didn't have one, but my recruiter was so happy to just send me away, so he didn't really question it. He didn't say like, hey, there's these jobs, so it's whatever. Anyway, I go off, and boot camp is fine. I have extremely flat feet, so it was really painful. But I graduated as the guide, and I almost got the honor, I guess like the best person in my whole boot camp class. But one of my best friends actually beat me out for it, named Woods. So to this day, he's still like a guy that I look up to. Anyway, so after boot camp, I went to school to do my job, which was called landing support specialist. Basically just like a logistics type of job, offloading, unloading cargo. But during my time, I also got to do awesome stuff. I got to do like a machine gunner's course, where I shot several different types of machine guns. And I got to go on helicopters. I did a I think 7 or 8 months kind of deployment. Some people will call it a booze cruise, because you're just going country to country on a ship. and you're kind of living it up. And I also got to go and support actual Navy SEALs that did go into combat, so that was interesting. But also went on Fleet Week, so there's just several really fun and cool experiences that I had while I was in the Marine Corps. Overall, I ended my time in the Marines, my last 6 months, doing a course by Microsoft called Microsoft Software and Systems Academy. And that's what got me into IT. I had no idea what an IP address was, or Ethernet, or a server. I had no clue what any of those things were. And I had no schooling that I had done. But I was lucky enough to be able to test into a program that Microsoft had through a university called Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And they put me into a cybersecurity 6-month program. So with that program, I ended up getting a certification called Security Plus, and I got a contracting job right after the Marine Corps. So I ended up moving from state to state: Arizona, Omaha, California, Texas, Florida, different parts of Arizona. And so the point was that now I'm doing what I love, and I'm working from home, and I have a great job within the military contracting space. So overall, I'm really blessed, and used the GI Bill to get a bachelor's degree in philosophy from Arizona State University. So I ended up coming back to it. And I say all of this to answer the question, would I join the Marine Corps all over again? I would say yes. I would definitely join all over again. It was one of the most fun times of my life. The camaraderie is incredible. The leadership skills that you gain are amazing. And you learn so much about yourself, what you're able to go through. You go past your, comfort zone, and you definitely expand it. You get more disciplined. You get a routine. You get health care, you get the GI Bill, the VA loan for zero down payment mortgage. And so I would definitely do it again. Now, what would I do differently? I would have definitely, with the ASVAB score that I ended up receiving, I would have definitely been more selective of getting the job that I wanted, entering the Marine Corps. So I wouldn't have just taken the first one just to leave as fast as possible. I would have been more patient, and most likely done something like intelligence, because I was really interested in doing counterintelligence. Or I would have stayed in and gone the officer route and tried to become like an infantry officer. And I think that would have been really fun, great experience, and I really like to be out in the field and help lead Marines. So that's what I would have done differently. However, overall, it was an absolutely incredible experience. I would recommend that if you are right now in the Marine Corps or any other service, go to school while you do it. Honestly, I know that we work really long hours in the Marines, at least, and a lot of other branches do too with their jobs. So I know you work irregular hours, a lot of hours, but do your best to, after hours, put in that work to get a degree while you're still in. Keep that GI Bill for certifications, for different courses. You might be able to do like fun things that you never tried. You can get a real estate license, you can get your master's, PhD, all on a GI Bill. So it really puts you into a great position. Make sure that, of course, that you have an honorable discharge. Don't do anything dumb. Have fun though, and I really think that the military is a huge blessing, and it's like the great equalizer. So a lot of people that come from, rough backgrounds, or their parents weren't that well off, and they weren't able to maybe pay for their university or even give them advice on university, and what kind of steps to take next. So they end up just, working a job and after high school and not really knowing what to do. I think the military is a great option for that kind of situation, because it teaches you valuable life skills. You get paid at the same time, you get a job, you learn kind of how to rank up, how to be professional, disciplined, and you learn how to be led and how to lead. And later I'll probably make a video about, what makes a good leader and how to become a better leader yourself. Throughout my time, I met a lot of great leaders in the Marine Corps, and some leaders that I think needed help with knowing how to tactfully speak to people that were subordinate to them. But also at the same time, there were people that didn't know how to be led. And that could have been maybe because they were triggered too easily. They had a problem with authority figures. And so I'll probably do a video on how to lead and how to be led. Because both of those are very important skills, because at some point you're going to have to be led. You're going to have to trust that leader, and also disseminate the information that they gave to you down to your subordinates in whatever type of organization structure you're in. And so, yeah, I'll make a video on that later. But would I join the Marine Corps again? The answer is, of course, yes. Like a resounding yes. And then what would I have done differently? Gone to school the entire time that I was in. Probably gone the officer route once I got my degree. And I would have definitely, like, number one, been patient for that job that I wanted, and be as informed as possible before joining. But that's all I have. Until next time, see you guys.